What's up, beautiful souls? Welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, my name is Mamina. You can call me Mina for short, or Divine Starseed, whichever is easier for you to say. This is a prosperity reading. We're going to be focusing on what could be getting in the way, like what's keeping you from reaching your goals and what's been putting a block up. This is still a collective reading, so some things are going to resonate for you. For some of you, everything may resonate. I mean, you were led here for a reason, but it is up to you to tap into your intuition and use your discernment to find out what you were led here to be made aware of, what solutions you might have been led here for. And as always, you are responsible for your actions and reactions and how you interpret the message on your own. So tap into source, tap into your inner divine and your guides to find out why you were brought here, what you needed to hear, and how you need to go about it for your personal situation. I am not here to tell you what to do. I am not here to give you every little nook and cranny of an answer. I'm simply here to give you some clarity and some guidance. But whatever you do with that spiritual clarity and guidance is completely and solely up to you. If you wish to book a personal prosperity reading to go deeper into maybe your situation, you can do so. Link is in the description. If you wish to do energy exchanges for this reading, you can donate towards the channel or tip via Cash App or PayPal. And with all that jiggity jazz out of the way, let's hop into what I was channeling and then get into the reading itself. So I was seeing money exchange hands. I was seeing somebody maybe borrow or loan money out, but I kept hearing a person. It was like they put the money in your hand or you put the money in someone else's hand, and then they kind of leaned over and started whispering in another person's ear. I also seen somebody exchanging money, like they took it out their pocket and they were handing it to someone, like paying it out, and then another hand reached in their pocket and was taking from it. So there's some lying, stealing, manipulating, and cheating going on here when it comes to financial affairs or something business related. It doesn't have to be that your physical money is being stolen from you, but it could be opportunities or certain positions are being kind of like blocked from you for a minute, and this is due to people manipulating. You know that saying, too many cooks in the kitchen? It's like you're the head chef, but there's too many cooks in the kitchen trying to be the chef, trying to be in your position, trying to do what you do, or being envious of what you do. I'm also seeing another person counting someone else's money. It was like you walk in a room and they look at you from head to toe and they're just adding up in their mind what they think you have. Now, this doesn't mean that you're flashy. It doesn't mean that you're walking around in like Dolce & Gabbana or something like that, or whatever the name is. Y'all know. It doesn't mean that you're doing that. However, in their mind, the way that you seem put together, the way that you seem to have something on that's new, like let's say you have enough clothes that you don't repeat too many things too much, or maybe when you wear them in different ways and they seem to be different outfits. This is masculine or feminine. They're looking at you saying to themselves, oh, so-and-so think they're all that because they have ... Man, that could be secondhand. That, somebody could have gave you that. You could have bought that from like a Goodwill, or you could have just bought it at a place that doesn't sell it for its full price, whatever it may be for you. But it's like they're judging you for no other reason than, honestly, they can feel that you're worth more than you might be seeing in yourself. And they can feel that there's a huge blessing coming towards you. They're jealous of that. They're envious of it. They don't have to know what it is. They don't have to care what it is. They just know something in your aura, something in your energy. It's alluring. It's compelling. It's like the Queen of Wands, King of Wands kind of energy. Like you command a room, even if it's not necessarily what you meant to do. You could be shy and timid normally, but your energy is big and huge. And it's enough for them to go, something's coming to this person. They might feel like they deserve something more than you do. I always tell you guys, misery loves company, but it doesn't love itself as company. So that means people will sometimes go out of their way to make you miserable just so they can justify where they are, or justify why they couldn't get to the top, right? So it's like, imagine they think you're better than them and then you can't reach a certain goal. Then that makes them go, ha, so-and-so's not as better than me as they think they are. You never thought that. That was their personal problem. If somebody don't like you, that's their business. That TikTok song keeps playing in my head over and over again. I was moved to share it yesterday with a big listen sign, and I feel like for some of you, it was for some of you that's in this reading. If somebody don't like you, that's none of your business. And many of you energetically, you're, where focus goes, energy flows, and you might be putting too much focus on caring about the he said, she said when it comes to that part of this, that it's distracting you from focusing on your goals. I feel like the word focus or being in alignment is going to constantly come out this whole time. So, bear with it. We're going to hop into the tarot to dive deeper, but there's just a lot going on. There's a lot of secrets, a lot of like people bad mouthing somebody behind their back. We're going to dive into and figure out a little bit more what that is. That was just a bit of a pre-channeling. Now let's see what comes out in the cards. We have Seven of Swords. What was I saying? The liar. In my reading, Seven of Swords isn't always about lies, but for this right now, it's a huge confirmation of that somebody's lying energy. But you know what else I'm seeing here, though? Ooh, let me be careful not to shake my table. I'm seeing sometimes your own mouth. You ever heard that expression? Watch what you say. You don't want to cash a check that you can't deliver on. That's what this is feeling like. I feel like some of you might be vocalizing your fears to the wrong people. Some of you might be telling your ideas to the wrong people. And it's blocking a blessing, not only because of how they may respond to it. So this is even if there's somebody that has a lot of love for you. Sometimes family and friends, you always hear people say when you're starting your business, go to family and friends first. That is not always the best idea. Because a lot of times family and friends have a cap on what they think you can do. Even if they know you're intelligent, even if they know you're creative, in their mind, they can't quite see the vision the way that you can, even if they're creative themselves. Just for you, they can't see it. So when you come and you give an idea, instead of saying, okay, all right, love, like, here's what would work and here's why, here's what may not work, but here's a solution or the reasons why, they just shoot it down. Like, oh, but that may cost too much. Oh, but that idea is so lavish. Oh, but that would take so much help and blah, 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 blah. And so because you care about them and you might care about their opinions, it starts to make you second guess. Even if you keep working on whatever it is, you find that doubts start to creep in your head. So you want to pay attention not only to yourself and what you're sucking in, like what are you taking in? Stop taking things into your aura and into your being that's not of you. But you also want to start paying attention to the patterns of the people you talk to and how they respond. Some of y'all got fakers, fake, lying, cheating, low down, dirty fakes around you. And they may act like they support an idea, but then they run out and they go tell that. They run and tell everybody what they think you're doing, but they add, they embellish on it. Like, oh, so-and-so said they're going to start this company or they're going to move up, but then they add extra stuff to it, like, but they're bitchy or they're this, they just lie on you. They're trying to get people to think the opposite way, or they're adding their own interpretation of what they thought you meant instead of just getting you to clarify. And word gets around to you. If this hasn't gone around to you yet, it will. But for some of you, I feel like you already heard through the grapevine, because I'm starting to hear, I heard it through the grapevine that no longer would you be my... Like, I keep hearing it. It's like somebody heard coming down the tunnel, so-and-so was talking about you. And the he said, she said wouldn't bother you so much if you weren't seeing some type of sign of it already coming from that person. It might still hurt. It's kind of like, I feel like they're this figure here. At first, you weren't paying attention. You might have been getting a bad vibe, but you wouldn't look down. As much as your instinct was saying, hey, pay attention. What's going on with that person down there? You were distracted by something else or just ignoring it because you didn't want to believe they were that way. And then bam, you get stabbed because you weren't paying attention to that instinct, to that intuition, to that vibration. Trust your intuition. It's not a toy. It's here for a reason, not a season. So if your intuition was telling you something about this person's vibe isn't 100%, even if you say to yourself, I need proof, and be mindful, because we've all put ourselves in that position where we're picking something up. Even those of us who are, our intuitive nature is right on the surface. We pick things up about people, but we can sometimes kind of see enough of the good that we go, well, they wouldn't redirect that at us. Maybe we're here to help them grow out of whatever that is. If we don't pay attention, we get so caught up in wanting proof so that we don't, misjudge a person, that we really can't be shocked at how that proof gets delivered. So if the proof comes in by them being snappy or them talking crap about you or them just bold-faced lying, you can't be mad about the proof because you were procrastinating and you needed to see it for whatever reason. So it's like, now that you've seen it, learn the lesson and keep it moving. Don't guard the heart just because somebody who wasn't worthy of being in a position near you in the first place tried to play you. Especially if it's a coworker that's barely a friend anyway. Because for some of you, this mayhem is going on at work. This confusion is happening at work. But you got to be mindful of your tongue. Your tongue can be blocking your blessings. You might be putting something out there that makes a person swoop in, block what you were trying to do so that they can stab you to get your position. This is I can't even call it a stab in the back, because when they make their move, if they haven't already, it's right in front of your face. But it's after pretending to be your friend for so long. See what I'm saying? But it's like the way they go about it, you can sense, if you open your eyes, you can see what they're doing. It's like, again, I'm seeing money exchange hands. I feel like somebody borrowed or loaned money out to someone and a person is lying about the amount. You might have, only asked for, only gave 200 or something like that, and they're saying, oh, I paid so and so $2,000, or I invested $2,000 in their Kickstarter. Something about Kickstarter. Either some of you are trying to start a Kickstarter or was thinking about it, or it just means that you're trying to kick an idea off. You're trying to start a project and you needed some money for it. You needed to get some samples and etc. Y'all know how that goes. You might have went to this person, you guys have an agreement, it's legal, either because you have text messages that can prove it, or you actually sat down and said, hey, by this time in July, and this is just what's channeling in, so only take what resonates for you, take the base that resonates for you, but someone is saying, by this time in July, I'm going to give you a return on your investment. And we're now in June. So that person has been spending the end of May and June, running around telling people like you owe them this huge amount of money. They're basing this on the fact that either you've started to sell whatever this is already, or you got a lot of really good samples. You have something that's making them jealous now. So they went from so-called fake ass support to now being jealous and wanting more credit than what they deserve. All they did was invest. Like, that's it. They didn't come up with any plan. They didn't come up with any blueprint. They didn't come up with the idea or whatever it is, but they want to act like they should have more clout than they do. And when they didn't get it, they chose to lie. And I'm going to tell you straight up, this person knows they're lying. I'm seeing some of y'all kind of want to create like an excuse again, like be boo-boo the fool for a second. No, this person knows they're lying. I'm going to give you two simple reasons why you know. Two simple facts. They're lying about the amount. For those of you that's for, or you're in a similar, whatever's being lied about is like an obvious thing. They know good and dang well they didn't give you what they're saying, or that the exchange wasn't what it was. Whether this is money, whether it's something with feelings, whatever it is, it's obvious they didn't give you that. It's like if a person asked you advice on something and you gave it, and then they tell you, oh, you act like you're better than me. That's their personal problem. You never said anything remotely close to that, but that's how they felt, or that's how they took it. That's their own. If somebody don't like you, that's their business. Beloved, if somebody don't like you, that song keeps playing over and over again. So somebody really needed to hear that, because it might be time for you to let that person go or distance yourself from that. Stand in your truth. Don't be afraid to stand in your truth. Don't feel like you have to cower away from people or put up this extreme guard, because what I'm sensing from this, whoever these liars are, these cheaters, whatever that false energy is of manipulation, if you let it harden your heart, if you let it make you think that you can't confide in anybody or about anything, then when the proper mentor comes in, you'll put a block up. Some of you have already been doing this, so this was a huge eye-opener for you right now, because you already have somebody around you that's assisting you the right way, helping you the right way, but you're holding back on how much you allow them to help because of these other naysayers and people from either the past, or that this could be going around at the same time. You could be dealing with a helpful hand at the same time you're dealing with someone else that's digging in your pocket trying to take from you. Somebody might have been saying to themselves, I put money in a location, I know I put a certain amount and it's not there. There's only one person that could have took it from you. That's all I'm gonna say about that situation. Let's move on. I channeled in for a second. That was a little different than where we were, but it is what it is. Let's get through to these other cards, my love. Let's get through. We have 3 of coins. You need to shift your focus back on your goals and then do what's necessary to achieve those goals. You have your first, it was like some of you were ignoring the signs that certain people weren't cool. And you let them get in so close that they started speaking bad on your name, and you let that get to you emotionally. I don't feel like some of these people were in a position to really cripple your reputation. You do have to be mindful for some of you who, because words have power, right? And if your vibration is in a certain low frequency, those people's words can and will have an effect. You have to build up your resistance. You have to build up your boundaries, and you have to be real and honest with yourself and accept your grace and accept your divine power. And make yourself realize nobody can take from you what you don't give. So if you don't give into depression, you don't give into anger, you don't give into resentment and all that other jazz, then they can't take nothing from you by playing with those triggers. Triggers are meant to be cleared. Okay? They're not meant to be hung on to. Because if you're constantly going to be walking around here holding on to your triggers, guess what? Somebody's going to be sitting right there waiting to clock it and pull it. So you have to ask yourself, do I really want triggers that people can just walk up and pull it and I'm just reacting like a bullet shooting out of a barrel with no direction? Because that's kind of what these people are reaching for. I do feel like certain opportunities might have been missed because you didn't want to deal with these people. Or something they may have said had an effect, and you might have called yourself saying, I'm not going to go to that event, or I'm not going to hang out at that place, whatever the case may be, and then you missed out on something. You might have guilt-tripped yourself about it later. There are no coincidences. All things happen for a reason. Once you are given insight onto why something may have happened, it's up to you to tap further into your awareness and fix what needs to be fixed in that. But if there are people you need to no longer talk to, whomever they may be, so be it. If there's family that you love dearly, they love you dearly, but they don't know how to support your dreams right now, that might be their capacity for this moment. And you have to accept that instead of taking it personal, which can be very difficult, especially if you're dealing with family that always wants you to understand them and be supportive of them. It can be difficult to be like, oh, you want me to support your business or support your dream or vision or whatever it may be, or your relationship, but you can't take 2 seconds to support mine or be in favor of me or what I'm trying to do. It can be difficult to not think that way, but the time it takes you to think that way, the more your focus goes off the goal. Remember I said focus was going to keep coming out here? When you shoot an arrow, for those of you who aren't experienced, your breathing matters, your balance matters, your precision through being able to hone your vision in like an eagle, like a hawk, on what your target is. I'm seeing an arrow being shot, and I'm seeing it from the viewpoint of the arrow, and it's going through, as it comes out of that sling, it's going through each ring on these coins, and each of these coins represent a different thing. We have the plan, the execution, the delivery. Okay? So for some of you, it goes through the plan just fine. You're really good at planning, but you don't follow through with action, and that's because of other distractions or people or manipulation or whatever goes on in that area over here. With this 7 of Swords, I'm also picking up like a 5 of Wands energy, like competition and conflict, but you let that kind of get in the way sometimes. So you plan and plan and plan, but at some point you have to act on the plan, otherwise you're just doing nothing but planning. For others, it shoots through the planning just fine, it shoots through the action just fine, but you kind of stop halfway in the action. It's like you don't go all the way to the delivery, to bringing in the profit. For others, the planning doesn't always come through completely. It's like you plan a little bit and then you act on it, and then it kind of falls through and you get upset because you're like, why didn't it work? Because you didn't finish fully planning it. And I keep hearing because of distractions, because of not paying attention, because the focus is off. You have to make a conscious, aware decision that you are going to plan and organize. Do not make your plan to the point that you don't allow the universe to flex, meaning you say to yourself, everything has to happen this exact way or else. But do be detailing what you want and in how you're thinking about it coming into existence. I use this a lot of times when I'm doing prosperity readings, but it's like if you wrote a check to yourself for a certain amount, right? Let's say that amount was a ridiculous amount of money. It was like $1 million. You say, oh, I'm gonna make $1 million by the end of the year. Don't waste your time with the thought of that may not happen. Leave that where it is. That don't even waste your time with it. But don't get caught up on it having to be just that million. However, put in the vibration and put in the work and put in the planning as if that's what you were going to get for sure, or what you already had was that million. How would you work if you knew that what you were working on was going to give you $1 million? You would do way more than just say, okay, I'm going to plan for 5 seconds and then not. Okay, I did all this planning. Now I'm going to just sit here and not do anything with it. All these people over here, all these distractions come in and they tend to happen when we're very close to reaching a really important moment of clarity and success. Okay, so don't allow for these people to constantly keep interfering with your blessings, but most importantly, don't allow your own thoughts, your own words to cut your blessings. Pay attention to what you speak, pay attention to what you think, pay attention to what you allow in to your atmosphere. It all plays a part here. And what this is showing me is, as each of those rings are achieved, that bow, it ricochets back around, and then it cuts those red strings and the money falls in the hands of the person. So whether this is money for you, or whether this is something else that's physically tangible, like a relationship or a connection, it falls in your lap when you pay more attention to how you're planning, to where your focus is, and to accepting that it's already yours. Everything that you truly desire and everything that you truly deserve out of what you desire is already yours. All you're doing is quantum leaping into the place you need to be in order to receive it. Okay? And for those of you who are like, quantum leaping, yes, I talk like that around here. Yes, I know about quantum leaping. That's a basic way to do it. I have other content provided on that. Oh my God, a few cards came out. We have 4 of coins. I feel like this row here is a mixture of problem and solution. So it's like the problem is there's some secrets going on, some lying, some people trying to, cut your blessings with their words, or cut your blessings by digging in your pocket, or making you do work and not paying you what you deserve for it, all kind of madness. And that's creating distractions. First, for some of you, you might have been ignoring it due to who was doing it. For others, like I said, it's more of a, you start working on something and then it discourages you, for lack of a better word. Redirect your focus and pay attention to who's clocking your coin, because funny enough, with this 4 of coins, for some of you, you do need to save up, or you've already saved up enough to put in towards what some of your ideas are. I feel like, once again, that energy of people making moves and moving around. Making moves don't have to always just be like leaving a home, but it is saying like making money moves, for example, or mental moves. You might need to have a certain amount saved up for that. For others, I feel like it's telling you that you need to guard your coin a little bit more. Pay attention when you start getting near a moment of success and you need to invest in it. When people start all of a sudden wanting, again, borrowing money, or tapping into your coin, or wanting you to pay extra for things you weren't paying extra for pay attention to that. Because again, people can feel when success is coming into your life. And if they don't want you to have it because they're either afraid of you leaving them behind, or they're thinking that you don't deserve it, whatever it may be. Again, their thoughts are their problems. It becomes yours if you allow it in, though. And like I said, I see money exchanging hands. I feel like for some of you, you might have loaned money out and a person is working hard to not pay you back. Don't get caught up on that. First of all, don't loan out or invest what you are afraid of losing. Once you loan something out, once you invest in something, you say, and it's not to say that some of the people that you give to or loan to won't pay you back, right? But don't sit there saying to yourself, I'm dependent upon such and such giving me back this exact amount. I'm going to be codependent upon this one singular investment making it through. Don't bite yourself on the butt like that. Okay? That's the first thing. But if somebody's trying to be stingy right now, because again, they're clocking your coin and they think that you're making more than what you might actually be making, and they think, oh, I don't have to pay so-and-so back because they're rich. You're really not. You know what I mean? You're rich in abundance and you're about to be up there. But at the moment, because we speak things in existence here, you feel what I'm saying? But at the moment, you might be saying to yourself, I work an average job, right? I gave it to you because, I felt like you needed it and I could spare it at the time, but I loaned it to you thinking you would pay it back. It wasn't really a give, it was a loan. That person is trying to make excuses. They might be running around telling people, yeah, so-and-so's hounding me for this money, but I paid them back already. Or they could be saying it was a lot less than what it actually is. Don't get sucked into that game. Okay? That is a trap. Don't get sucked into it. It takes your focus off your goals. It makes you, saving is important, but it might make you start to cling on to your money to where you're not even investing in yourself. Pay attention to how you are responding mentally and physically whenever these type of situations are happening. Yep, see, pay attention to your emotions. Ace of Cups. This is a solution, right? We had our problem, right? This one was like a problem and a solution in a sense, because it's letting you know that your focus needs to be on the prize, on pulling your weight, on doing your part, right? Watch your savings, watch who's clocking your money. If you loan something out, don't worry about hounding the person about it. Bigger things are coming, right? What we put out, we get back in tenfold, 1,000-fold. That's how this is supposed to go. When you can have a stronger centering in on your emotions, when you can center in better, no one can just manipulate you. All the deceit, all the lies, all the craziness that was going on, for some of you, it's a current thing, and that's why you feel so heavy right now. For others, it's not that it's way back in the past, like it might have been kind of recent for some of you, but again, there are people coming in. That's another thing with this Three of Coins. It's like there's people coming in that want to help, but they can't do that if you're still caught up in harboring on what took place before. Three of Coins can be that. It's about collaboration. It's about planning and getting together and pulling your own. It can involve other people. It can be just about you. And for some of you, it will involve other people at some point, right? But you don't want to drag into those relationships the negativity from that Seven of Swords. When it comes to that Ace of Cups, it's letting you know a clear emotional fulfillment is coming. A balance is coming. I feel like some of y'all are going to be able to be independent, but you have to get your mental, your emotional, and physical in alignment so that you're not distracted by all of the other madness that's going on. So that heaviness that you've been feeling right now, we can touch and agree with a higher power that you're choosing to move on past that. You will no longer allow the weight of other people's words, lies, manipulation to affect your mind, your spirit, least of all your pockets, least of all your soul. You're choosing to cleanse all of that out right now, okay? Because something amazing wants to come in here. Four of Staffs. I like to only take the cards that flip face up when a whole deck tries to jump out at me. Because we would be here forever otherwise. I feel like this is talking about being in balance with your emotions again, as well as being in balance with your actions. The Four of Staffs can be about, it's the Four of Wands. It can be about celebration. It can be about, that tie that yellow ribbon around the old oak tree kind of celebration. But in a personal reading like this, especially with it being an elder, if you notice, this elder, he's balancing in a really interesting way on his feet. He's holding two staffs and then balancing another two set of canes or staffs on top of that. This is how precise your focus needs to be. This is how well you need to pay attention to your thoughts and your emotions so that you can let this prosperity channel in the way that it needs to without being distracted by all the other mayhem. Okay? This is what someone's trying to throw you off with. Also, the person who might be coming in to help you with mentorship or again, your abundance can be anything for you. Your prosperity can be anything for you. It doesn't have to just be money. But the person coming in to help you might be an older individual. They could have years of experience on what you need help with. So either they're older than you and have experience, or they just been doing whatever you're trying to do for a long time and they can give you better insight. I keep hearing Kickstarter. So somebody here might be really trying to start a Kickstarter. Look at that. What did I say before? Independence, baby. Look, what was I saying about the Three of Coins? You shot through the holes, right? Each one representing a different thing. The arrow came back around and shot down the string. Are those coins not lined up on a string? Ching, ching, ching goes the money tree. Do you see what I'm saying? Like as you really stand in your power, as you accept that you get to create your destiny, no one can knock you off of that. And then you can get into that Nine of Coins. That Nine of Coins says, honey, darling, baby, I'm a winner. All I do is win, win, win. Like that's all I do. I don't know how to do anything else. That's what that Nine of Coins is saying. I'm also sensing that for some of you, it's important to heal any type of wounds or trauma about money about abundance and about prosperity from inner child years. So some of you might have heard sayings or were told things when you were a kid that also affects how you think you're supposed to make money or how you feel about work, especially if you're trying to do your own business. You might have been told like work isn't for play, work isn't for fun. Maybe for you work is for play. Maybe for you work is for fun. Okay, and interpret that the way that you need to. Bottom of the deck, what was I saying about earlier? Trusting your intuition. We have the high priestess, your own inner wisdom, your inner knowledge. Talk to your guides, right? Ask them for the confirmations and you shall receive. Under that, we have the sun card. Boom. Boom, my darlings. This is taking a hot minute, so let me go ahead and try to, I don't want to say I'm a rush per se, but I am feeling compelled to go to 2 other oracles on this reading real quick. Hopefully everything is making sense to you guys. Sometimes the energies can come in really fast. They take their time in how they try to get the words out. At least it feels long to me. But it can also come out like verbally fast. It's hard to describe. It's really weird. It's really weird, my darling. It's really, really weird. All right, let's see what's going on. Let's get a closer look at your finances here. See what you might need to focus on. Abundance mentality. Boom. Boom. That means that you don't believe in lack. You don't believe somebody can take from you. You believe that you will always have means, always have resources. You believe that your abundance multiplies and it comes back to you and it comes back to you. You're never in lack, so therefore you don't have to live in fear. You don't have to be in survival mode. So in other words, my darling, if there's a job you may need to leave, it's your personal decision and you're responsible for it. But if it's time to go, it's time to go. If there's a business that you've been wanting to invest in, you've done planned and planned and planned, but if it's time to move on that plan, then it's time to move on that plan. You believe that when you work on something, you attract more. Anything that you would normally count as a loss, it is no longer a loss, it's a lesson. What didn't work and why didn't it work and how can you fix it? Okay? But keep an abundance mentality. Also the eye, there's an eye sketched on that above the money bag. I think I said something about money bags earlier, but I don't know. At least I kept hearing it in my head. But there's an eye above the money bag, and it's making me think of the all-seeing eye, which is making me think of the high priestess again. We have 2 cards fell actually. We have what's the rush? So I feel like some of you who felt as if individuals were taking from you or preventing you from reaching something, again, it's like you have plans, but you don't finish them because someone keeps distracting you. And then you try to execute to kind of jump ahead and it falls through because the plan wasn't completely brought to fruition. For those of you who were going through that, what's the rush? When you have a genuine idea, when you live in your truth, when you're mindful in how you go about expressing it or even sharing it, you pay attention to if you can or cannot share with certain people, then you don't have to worry about what they do. Because they can't achieve what you're capable of achieving. What you're doing and what your ideas are, they channel in through you for a reason. You're the vessel that's meant to deliver it. But you do want to be mindful, again, of who you tell your fears to as far as like what you think may fail and who you tell your detailed descriptions. I always tell y'all, don't really tell people your detailed descriptions. Some people don't need to know what you're doing till it's done. Maybe it's the Virgo in me, but for those of y'all that like Beyonce, think like that. Like, I'm like that. I'm not telling nobody nothing until it's complete. You know what I mean? If there's something revealed, it's whatever needed to be revealed to prepare for. It's like an event. If I had to tell you about an event that it's coming, I would tell you it's coming, but you ain't gonna know what's there till you get there. The best you might know is the theme, so you know how to dress. That's how some of y'all have to be. Sometimes some things have to be tight-knit. Make people sign a waiver if you have to. You know what I'm saying? Like, you sign a waiver that you're not gonna go tell nobody my idea as we work on this. But again, if you're rushing because you're afraid of being first, or if you're rushing because you're afraid someone's going to take it from you, you're the vessel that's meant to bring in certain things. And so people can't steal how you would express that or how you would do that. And if you're meant to move on and do something else, you'll be given the sign of that. But there's no need to try to be so nervous and be in such a survival mode that you rush and all your ideas keep falling apart because of it. We also have you're in for a sweet surprise, baby. It's like candy. Ooh, some of y'all, the sweet surprise involves money and love. Okay. Well, okay then. All right. I'm using the Hustle Oracle by my soul sister, Fire Witch Tarot, by the way, my loves. If you're curious as to where these cute cards came from. And we toxic work environment. Why? Because they be some liars, some stealers, some cheaters, be making y'all work on things and not paying you for it. Boom. Somebody was sitting here like, but I don't know. I've been at this job for a while. Well, someone else wants me to like work somewhere else, but I'm not sure. Okay, yeah, well, there you go. There's the card, my love. I'm shuffling. I don't know what you want me to do. Bottom of the deck, setting yourself up for failure. If you decide to rush things, if you decide to stay where you're clearly not meant to, or you keep letting outside sources affect yourself, it's like setting yourself up for failure. Okay? 1 second, my loves, because my blinds decided to fall on that note. It's like curtain call. Curtain call on the job. Curtain call. That was just too perfect. It's like spirits were like, listen, she said what she said. If you need to leave, you gotta leave. If you gotta evolve, you gotta evolve. We all gotta expand. You see what I'm saying? Let's get into the fortune cookie. I'm using my fortune cookie oracle by the beautiful V, who I love dearly. The link to these cards will be in the description. I love these cards so much. We have freedom awaits. Freedom awaits, my darlings. What else we got for these beautiful souls? Break the mold. You don't need to fit in. You don't need to do it the way everybody else said. Those again, could be friends and family that love you and they just have a hard time seeing your vision. You don't have to be in the mold that they set for you, the cap that they placed for you. You just got to be you. And only you can do you so beautifully, okay? And make sure you have no regrets as you do it. Some of you might be thinking of taking trips to an island to cleanse your mind and to get right. If that's something that you have the means to do this summer, then do it. Again, July keeps popping up, and it popped up earlier. So July is an important month for a lot of you. A lot of truths may be getting revealed, even if they're a little hard to swallow, but it's all necessary. It's all for a purpose. I haven't done a reading this long in a minute. So I'm trying to like give these energies what they're trying to give you, what these energies are trying to get out so that I can go. Because these collective readings can start to get to you after a while. Change is inevitable. I don't even feel like I need to elaborate considering what these two cards here say, right? I don't. And the curtain calls again. The curtain's like, if you gotta close the chapter, you gotta close the chapter, darling. We're gonna go for one more, I think. We're going to go for one more. What do we have? We have go back to nature. Some of you you could be working a job that kind of keeps you from going out. You might have had a job at one point where you could go out, you could explore a little bit more. Maybe you had more days off, and now it's like you're working 365 days a year, all the 7 days, just all of them, Monday through Sunday, and it's just nonstop. Forever, constantly going, and you're like, I can't seem to get out. You first need to ask yourself, are you really allowing yourself to mentally and emotionally accept that you need to get out? That's number one. And then number two, are you really looking, or are you just going about the basic motions, right? Getting into nature may help clear your mind. So if you need to take a day off, even if it's just one day, to like go to a park or go out somewhere to clear your mind so that you can really hear your own thoughts, then so be it. You might need to do that before you make certain decisions as well. Maybe it's time to get a job that allows you to have, 2 or 3 days out of the week to yourself. Let's see what else. Let's see what else we have for you from this last deck. I'm using another one of these cards. We have Make It Happen Sooner. And this is the San Francisco Bridge, and it's making me think of a ladder. It's like climb the ladder sooner. Make the move sooner. Make the change sooner. Sooner than later. Sooner rather than later. Make it happen sooner. We have, for some of you, we have that you've been waiting on this or trying to plan something for the next, saying, okay, this is going to take 4 years, this is going to take 5 years, and you're being told, my darling, make it happen sooner than that, okay? For some of you, it might need to be something that happens before or around April of next year. All right, my beautiful loves, that, my darlings, was your reading. I hope that gave you the clarity and guidance that you need. I haven't done a prosperity reading this long in a while. We are going to all touch and agree that your blessings, that your abundance is coming towards you, is already with you, it's yours. Claim it, move in it, think with that mentality, keep that vibration, and don't let anybody or anything knock you off of your throne. Your crown was made especially for you, and can't nobody else steal it or wear it. Peace, love, and light, beautiful souls.